በሲ ነው ምን አለ
እሱ ይጠብቃል።
ናቲ ማለ ነው ያልኩት ደውላችሁ
የለም ናቲ
አይ እኛ ፎቶ ለበስ
አይ ናቲ ሳል እሱም ጫርኝ እሱም ውጭ ነው ያለው።
በስ መንካት መች ነው የምትመጣ?
ኧረ አይደለም
ይበላል ድረስ
አይሄድም እሑድ አይሄድም።
Have to find a reference from a book of jurisprudence, but I don't think that's your point. I think your point was about the level society of the son versus the slave. And sure, the son has a higher status from that perspective.
Yeah, so a slave is, a son is more than a slave. Do you agree?
Yeah, from the societal perspective, sure.
Okay. So I'll ask now, can you come to Allah as anything more than a slave? Relationship. Can you have more than a slave to master relationship with Allah?
Well, our belief as Muslims is that the most dignified position of a human being is that they are a slave to God.
That's not what I asked.
Now, son, can you be a son from the literal sense? No.
That's not what I asked. I cleared up to you less or more of what I'm talking about. We already cleared that up, which got us back to this question. And now you have the ability.
That's why it's a problem. We don't.
Now you have the ability to answer my question. Can you or can you not come to Allah as more than a slave?
The problem is we don't have that paradigm. That's why it doesn't make sense. You can't ask a question if you don't believe that is a paradigm that can be possible. We don't believe it's possible to be more than a slave relationship.
Thank you. That's it. Hey. Thank you. You answered the question. It's not possible. Within the Islamic paradigm, it is impossible to fathom a status or relationship with Allah that's more than a slave. Thank you for answering the question. However, we just surmised that a son is higher than a slave. But with Allah, it is impossible for you to be a son. You can only be a slave. You can't be anything more than that. To be more than a son, which is impossible, is not. That's it.
Yes. We have that type of relationship with slaves.
So correct. So with the said, there is no sense of the love, no sense of the relationship that you Islamically or paradigm can be a son of Allah and your father. It's no sense. Because the second that you apply a sense in which you are a son of Allah, then you have just now elevated yourself above slave status with Allah. Now you're a son of Allah. But that doesn't exist in Islam. You can't do that.
So you're right and you're wrong. You're right from one perspective, you're wrong from the other perspective. How you're wrong is that God is using words and terms that make sense to us human beings, we're the readers, right? So if God is using the term, or if the term son, in a figurative sense, like for instance, if you said that to me, hey, yo, son, what's up, right? If you were to say, hey, son, what's up? You're using that as a human being. You're not meaning that literally from a ontological perspective. You're saying that from a figurative perspective. So when the words are used in that sense, yes, it would make perfect sense to say, I'm a quote-unquote figurative son of God, even from the Muslim perspective. We just don't call it son in that sense. We call it the slave of God. But yes, if you, by what you mean, son of God, if you mean someone who is lower than God, who submits himself to God, yes, then we're saying the same thing.
I'm asking another question. You can't be honest with you.
I'm being totally honest. I know last time you hung up on me because I don't have time.
We'll do the same thing here.
That's fine.
Is the slave? Is the slave the same as a son?
No, definitely not. I would
Okay, so then you can't say that, oh, well, we just say that we're slaves, we just don't use the word son, but we technically mean the same thing. No, a son is not a slave.
No,
You're
using word names. These are different.
I'm using words that have a meaning. I'm using words that have a meaning, and slave don't mean son. So when I'm using words that your Quran uses, and apply the words your Quran uses, all of a sudden, me, a Muslim Allah, you're playing games. Because you're right.
What I'm saying, and answer your questions, and I just should have answered these questions well. And in fact, what does it? You cannot respond by you can't respond. I will give you an yeah, sure. So, as I said, and when we say son,
No, you keep repeating yourself. I'm asking you, what did I not give a response to? You said I didn't give a response. I'm not going to give you a response. What did you say that I didn't give a response to? Is this what you're saying that you said and I didn't respond to?
I'm talking about the figurative usage of the word.
I know you are. Did I respond to that?
Did you respond to it? Did you respond to the God, the Father, the Son, that relation?
I have something that I touch on that slave thing. I mean, like, I'll give you an example, right? Would you say that someone who Allah put his favor on the Prophet would be like a slave or higher than a slave? Exactly the same way. Yeah, in the same way, his sons are also slaves. The sons of God.
Are sons more than slaves?
No, his sons are also slaves. As soon as a son of God, that's
Can a son be a slave of his parents?
and a son is we don't stop there, but it's not.
Do you serve your parents?
Yeah,
So you are a servant of your parents? You're a slave to your parents?
I just said my parents.
Yeah. So you're a servant to your parents, and you're their son, is that correct?
Yeah,
So you see how you are not merely a servant, but you are a son as well, right?
yeah, in the same way, prophets are the prophets, but they're also servants.
Prophets are servants. Prophets are servants.
Yes, sons are slaves.
But they're not sons, right?
Prophets,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
They're merely servants, right?
I mean, it depends. Like, now, we don't use that terminology, but in certain times, we do refer to prophets as sons of God.
When? Show me in the Quran where it says that.
It doesn't say it.
So then why are you making this stuff up as good?
It's not the right one. Salaf said it.
Renovation.
Salaf said it.
You said who said it?
Salaf.
Who?
Salaf.
Who said it?
You don't know what Salaf is?
Who is that?
No, it's not a person. It's the history of it.
Yeah, the Salafi way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Salaf that,
Look, they innovate. They innovate.
wait, so if something isn't found directly in the Quran
Or the Hadith.
and no, I can show you in hadith where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used this methodology that we used to get this concept.
Yeah. So Muhammad says that you're sons of Allah?
No, he didn't say that. I'll show you. Sahih al-Bukhari 5999.
What does he say?
It's talking about like war prisoners, which are like children and women, and one of the women, she was like nursing the children, and the Prophet said, "Do you think this lady can throw her son in the fire?" And they replied, "No, she has the power not to throw him in the fire." The Prophet ﷺ then said, "Allah is more merciful to his slaves than this lady to her son." So it's an analytical truth that if we say like what's it called, like that this like that is like how do I say it? Like, it's true by definition. Now the example of the father, that if you understand father as a creator, sustainer, and provider, the then like and Allah is a creator, sustainer, and provider. Allah is the father and son.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Our mothers created and system provide.
Mothers are caretakers of civil.
The God all of them.
Yeah, so in a sense, Allah is a mother. I think it's less than
I only do us, but else.
quick one. It's not befitting to say it, of course. That's why we don't say it.
Why wouldn't it be befitting when it's the correct meaning? In the correct meaning, Allah is a mother.
In the correct meaning, yeah, okay, but it's not befitting to use that terminology. It's not befitting to Allah. But in the correct meaning, yes.
We are in 2024. And he's not the only one that said this. There's been a few that have said, as a matter of fact, other Muslims, because they're debating on the subject, they argue this. They argue this. One of the Muslims brought this up. And he brought up, and he said, well, can we say that Allah is a mother as well? Can we say that Allah is a mother now too? Right? And the Muslims, they were, oh, no. And he's like, if we're going to be consistent, then yes, you're going to have to say that Allah is a mother as well. It's so.
But we kind of disagree with this. Like,
Yeah, he disagrees more.
Yeah, I think part of the
Yeah. So, so you have now, guys, in 2024, we have another dilemma with Muslims. They have to accept if they're going to start saying that Allah is a father in some sense, in a correct sense, then they also have to say that Allah is a mother in some sense. They have to be honest and say that. And we're seeing that in 2024. We are seeing that Allah is a mother. And it won't be blasphemous, it wouldn't be mocking or blasphemous if you guys went to Muslim lives and called Allah a she or a mother in the correct sense. Because you're saying that there is a sense that yes, he is a mother.
no, we can't say it, but it's an analytical truth that in the correct sense Allah is a mother, but we just don't use the terminology.
What's the problem with saying it? What's the problem with saying it if it's a truth about Allah? If it's true, what's wrong with saying it?
Because with the father and stuff, for example, is an idol, there's like the idolatrous association with the Trinity, and then also the person, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam uses that terminology in reference to Allah.
And neither did he use father, right? But however, here's for example, he uses the term God for himself. Isn't God associated with paganism and polytheists?
For sure.
So why are you allowed to call Allah God, but not allowed to call him mother or father, which pagans also use, like pagans associate those words? How does that make sense? How is that consistent?
Yeah, so the word Allah is the name of our like God.
Yeah, the pagans called him Allah. The pagans called him Allah, and they associated children to him before Muhammad came, right?
Yeah, okay, I get that kind of, but like, I still like if the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used the terminology, we can use the terminology.
But so there we go. So now it doesn't have anything to do with pagan roots. It has nothing to do with
associated with pagans and yada yada yada. Now it's if Muhammad used this term, then we can use it. If he didn't, then we can't. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Muhammad never used the term father or mother. Never used a lot of these terms. So then, how can you say then that this is true of Allah? Then? If Muhammad never said this,
It's an analytical truth.
it can't be. Muhammad never affirmed this. Muhammad never affirmed that Allah was a father or a mother. So how can that be true?
Because if Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, had the Quran revealed to him, and the Quran says that Allah is a creator and a provider and a sustainer. And if we understand Father as a creator, sustainer, provider, then it's an analytical proof that in a sense Allah is a father.
Would Muhammad accept that, what you just said?
Yeah.
Would he also accept that Allah is a mother in the correct sense? Would he accept that? Muhammad, your prophet, would accept that?
Yes. And Allah would accept this.
أعوذ بالله الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله بدع بدع innovator innovator بدع بدع innovator بدع بدع أعوذ بالله. Okay. Let me bring up somebody else. You don't have to go. You can...
Here we go.
Yeah, I do.
What is this topic about, by the way, which Muslims are going to answer?
Jesus or Muhammad?
Okay, fine. I choose Muhammad because he's a true prophet. Why? Because because of the things in his time.
How you doing, this mom?
How are you?
Good. Jesus or Muhammad, man?
Okay, you had a question that was quite different from the topic.
Oh, did you want to? You still wanted to touch on the father thing, the son thing, the mother thing?
No, I have something different.
What do you have?
I was listening to one of your videos and you said something about Quran. I thought I should discuss it with you by thinking about the situation. So you believe that Jesus is your savior, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So let's suppose you and I we are in a fist fight, okay? And we both are against each other and we are enemies.
Who's gonna win?
We'll come to that. Okay. So now we both are in a fist fight, and what happens is that I take out the gun and I shoot it. Okay, I fire it.
Dang!
Okay. The player touches your shoulder and you just fall down and become unconscious. Okay. Now that we are enemies, so when I fire the shoot, I fall falling down and I run away because my intention was to kill you. Okay. Okay. So, but you're not safe. It's just that I tried to kill you and I felt that I succeeded. Okay? And I went back home and I was like, okay, I'm done with my job. But you woke up and you got your conscience back and you went home. Now, when you are saved, would you say that Jesus is your savior because he saved you from me? Or would you say that he has deceived me and he's a deceiver?
I'm sorry, I kind of got a little lost in the analogy. So go ahead and continue. If you can repeat the part after you said you pulled out a gun with the intention to.
Yeah, I pull out a gun with the intention. I fired at you. It didn't harm you, but you just went unconscious, and I felt that I had killed you basically. Okay,
Alright,
this was my
so you thought that you got.
yeah, because it was my intention to kill you. So that was the thing I actually wanted to do, but it didn't happen. But you became unconscious, and I thought that, oh, this guy is dead now. So I just ran away. You woke up and you went home and you were fine. So now, when you're saved from me, would you say that Jesus has saved you, or would you say that Jesus, you have deceived this person or lied to this person and made him believe that he has saved you?
I wouldn't say anything. What does Jesus have to do with that?
Because you're saved now.
Well, what is Jesus going to do with that?
Because you believe that he is your savior. Oh, now I did that. He believes like this saves you from all like hardships and stuff. I mean, he saves you from all the challenges or maybe hard times, right? That's what how it appears to us.
Oh no, Jesus tells us that we'll be persecuted and unalived and beaten and stuff. So, you know. Just in this analogy, you didn't put Jesus in there. You know. So I can't force Jesus into the analogy. You didn't put him in there. So like, did Jesus cause you to think that I was unalive, that you got me? Did Jesus cause you to think that?
What I'm trying to say is that the word, when you say from the Quran that, oh, God has lied to someone, like I'm talking about the about the term.
Right?
No, I'm talking about the yeah.
Hello. Abdi. ተመልሰን መጥተናል። ሞዛይኮች ነን በተወዳጁ ብስራት ኤፍኤም 101.1 ላይ የ12ኛ ሳምንት የእንግሊዝ ፕሪሚየር ሊግ ተጠባቂ ጨዋታ በፖርትመን ሮድ ስቴዲየም ኢፕስዊች ታውን ከማንቸስተር ዩናይትድ ዘግቡ
አላለቀም እኮ ገና ነው እያየ ነበር።